I need to fix that camera. So what about a planter well over a foot? Shit. Season 4. Yeah. I need to rinse that off. I don't know. Rather than... I mean, it'll shrink a little bit as I bring it out wider, but... Yeah, so Henry just started streaming, which is delightful. We are bringing him into the fold of Twitch potters. There's a bunch of clay sitting down here at the end of this, the bottom of this. Let us... Everybody hold on to your hats. It'll do for now. I think if I stop doing any pulls, we'll be okay. I can trim off some of this clay on the outside, and then it won't be too big. I mean, this is, and I am going to be the first one to admit that this is not particularly well thrown. I'm leaving a lot of clay down here that some really skilled throwers would be able to bring up into the walls. On the one hand, I'm not really trying to make a huge, like, thing. It's not what I'm trying to make. I'm trying to make something that ends up roughly 9 inches tall right now. But it's not that it's not well, like, but it's not perfect. It's certainly not. It's actually not too tall. I may actually want to pull once more. Room for improvement. Yeah. There are ways that this could certainly be better, and certainly on a smaller piece, my throwing is better than this. If that makes it a little bit more clear. It's not that it's like bad. The best place to see some of my pieces is if you type !socials. There you go. On my Instagram and my Etsy, you can find my stuff there. I also don't want to go too thin. After shrinkage, so I lose about an inch, right? So I'm shooting for 9. Thank you. Shooting for 9 to get 8. So now I think we're going to start shaping here. I think we're going to start pushing out. Question about the height. Sorry, I don't know. What rabbit hole did you go down? That's the more important question. I feel about paying, oh, over a foot. It's just that it is currently not actually a foot. It looks like it should be, but it's not. It is currently, I don't know, 10 inches. We're gonna gain a little bit more height, but we might also lose some. I don't know, it feels bigger than it looks. Thank you. I want to see if I can't get a little bit more of this clay. That damn bubble again. We're doing okay. I don't want to thin out the rest of that. It's true. Ooh, let's not do that though. Animals out of clay. Yeah. I was really lucky and very privileged in that I had worked with clay, like making animals or making tiles or that kind of thing in elementary school. And then in high school, we had a ceramics like studio. So I was able to get my hands in clay, like on the wheel, for the first time in high school. Now, I didn't do it at all through college. And then probably about 5 years ago, it's probably actually more recent than that, or longer than that. My timeline's all fucked. I was able to get back into it and have been doing it ever since. So like I had probably 3 or 4 months in high school experience, and then nothing until recently 5 or 6 years. Thank you. See, I went a little thin on the rim, and as I pull it out farther. Hey, Dan. As I pull it out farther, we're getting a little on the thinner side than I'd really prefer. Yeah, it's quite large. He does, indeed. Let's see. Wrong direction. Okay. I'm gonna take that clay off the bottom there. Yeah, I would say I probably started with over 10 pounds and have lost at least 1 pound. Here. So it's probably closer to 9. At least 1 pound. Slow down. That's a bucket. I don't want to go any thinner though. A bucket. It's funny, that twist that was problematic ended up right there. Paint it or glaze it and leave it brown. So this clay is white to begin with. I also tend not to do a lot of underglazing, so it will be glazed. In what glazes, I don't know. Haven't decided yet. Well, it's, to be fair to you, it's kind of an off-white gray. And when it's fired, actually, it becomes more gray. But yeah, colored glazes rather than any underglazing or illustrative anything. Anyway. I'm using Standards 182 with grog. Hey, Drew. Hey, Ramon. Yeah, so let's see. We've got. It's still going to be too short. Not too short, but shorter than we wanted it. Because this is just over 8 inches, which means it's going to shrink down to about just over 7 inches. Despite being wide enough. It's plenty wide. Yeah, too short. So let me see if I can't make it a little taller. Rather than, because we're about an inch wider than I would prefer. So we can try and collar it in a little bit. This is big. If it was less conical, it would be taller. Yes, if I bring these up a little bit more. That's what I'm going to try and do here. I just need more water. Ooh. Really wants to fold over. We've kicked it a little off center, but that's all right. The problem is in that one section where we had that that air bubble earlier, we now have a kind of weak spot there, and so pushing past that is tough. Don't do it. That tear in the lip just wants to live there. Hey, Cravinity. Yeah, we're pretty off center at this point, so I don't know how much more we're gonna get out of it. Nope, we have not gained much height at all. With that. So the question is, do we push it? Do we go? Or we keep this one and make another one? It really wants to fold. Really, really. Meh. Ugh. Becoming ugly though. That tear does not want to go away either. Hey, Lodonin. Yep, I was waiting for that to happen. Let's see. Well, this isn't the one then. Because we're just going to do this. That was pretty good. That was really satisfying, actually. But we're going to go ahead. Now that all that weak clay up at the top is gone. Not to be the height that you want it to be. No. This is something else. No. That any biggest challenge for big things is that any small imperfection is magnified as soon as you get it large. So small bits of not being centered show up later to a much larger degree. We're still going to make a decent pot out of this, which is fine. Better thickness as well. Good enough. This can be for the